Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to my Listen Live. I guess I just came up with that right now. Today is going to be a listing party. So if you're not sure what that is, stay tuned because it's going to be very exciting. No, it's going to be work. But we're going to make work fun. And so I am going to sit here and list all of my items and unbox some stuff for my upcoming Whatnot sale. And we're all going to list together and get a lot of things done. Super productive, super happy. We're going to chat as well in the comments. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you can chat and like this video. I usually forget to say that, but I'm saying it right now. Like this video to share it with your friends and give it a little boost for everybody else that needs a little bit of productivity in their lifestyle. I'm the kind of person that works well when other things are happening. So if there's people I'm talking to, it doesn't feel like work, but I'm getting things done. So that's what we're going to trick ourselves into doing today. We are going to get stuff listed while we chat and have some fun times. So let's get to the exciting things first, because I always like starting with the fun stuff. We're going to unbox some of the stuff and look at what we're listing today. So where is this box? Here it is. Oh. I've got a whole tub full of stuff. The other cool part about this is you get to see my Whatnot setup. That's what it is. If you have been interested in starting Whatnot or don't know what to do, how to list, how to get started reselling, and you wanted to, this is the place to ask those questions. I'll show you exactly my process of how I set up my shows. And then kind of if you have questions about running the show, we can discuss those too. So hello, and let's get started. All right. First thing I'm pulling out of the box is these pretty little rose plates. On the back, they have, oh, they're Bavarian. Nice. So typically my process for listing things is I use Google Lens to like snap a picture of it and see if I can pull it up anywhere. But if you guys have suggestions for how you search for things, please drop them in the comments because I have the hardest time looking things up. Beep. Hello, hello, everybody. Gloria, Donna, Happy Kitty. Where did I just put my rag? I had it somewhere. It's gone forever. I need another one. Darn it. Oh, no. Those are all kitchen towels. I can't use a kitchen towel. Ugh. There we go. Okay. Got it. We're good. We're golden. So for those of you wondering how to get price tags off of your stuff, use a little bit of Windex or multi-purpose spray. I've found that it comes right off super easily when you use that. I have my little scale here. And we're going to list the first thing. Okay, to make this exciting, if anybody else is listing here with us, why don't you list the name of the item once you've completed it? So we can keep a catalog of how many things we've listed. A little bit of motivation. Do, do, do. What do I call this? Google, 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 Google. Ooh. Okay. Found a listing on Etsy for $69. That's promising. Love to find that. That's a full set of 8, though. I only have 2. All right, and look at that. My first thing listed. Well, technically two things because I have two of them and I listed a quantity of two. We're gonna breeze through this. I usually list everything and take pictures within like an hour, hour and a half on a Monday before my show. So it might get slowed down a little bit by talking, but probably not. That's probably one of the reasons I like Whatnot so much is because the accessibility behind listing things and the amount of time required in doing it. Yes, if you're doing eBay listings or Poshmark or something else, it's arguably less time, but it is nice to know that there's like a stopping point after a sale. It kind of like benchmark things better with Whatnot so that it's not this open-ended, infinite, like looming, oh, I could always do more. I could always list more, right? It's like, okay, I got to get 30 things up for a Whatnot show on Monday. And then you do it, and then you have like a point where you can like take a breath. At least that's how I see it. Oh, darn it, this one's chipped. That's a bummer. I didn't see that when I grabbed it. All right, well, I'm going to have to list them separate now and show this one as a chipped. Did my boyfriend find all of the new living room stuff? He kind of did. I had to give him some really big hints, and he thought some stuff that I had bought in the last round of decorating was from this round, and it was not. But I did end up showing him everything. He did like it. How's everyone's week going so far? What's this ramping up to be? Busy week, slow week? Are we excited about it? Not excited? Oh gosh. I finally got a doctor's appointment for tomorrow after trying to get a hold of my doctor for a week now. So that's fun. This guy, handcrafted in Italy for Sur La Table. Earthenware? Huh. I've never heard of earthenware before. Think if you lost something, I think if you list something with a chip, it might give you some bad reviews. I make sure to put in there as is and put in the description that there is a chip, and then I talk about it before I run the sale, just so people are aware, because sometimes the item is valuable enough that it doesn't matter if there's a chip. And with a lot of antiques and vintage and what I deal with, people don't care as much because you're getting 100-year-old piece, the rarity of the object outweighs the damage that's on it. And sometimes the damage is expected with some of the older pieces. So that's why I just leave it up to whoever is buying it, because there were some things that, there's always something where I think, it's not valuable, or it has a chip, or it's not worth listing. And then someone comes on and is like, oh my gosh, that's a $50 thing, list it. Like, I would like to buy that. Yes. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. So I just list everything now. Earthenware and stoneware are the same thing, basically. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. See, I learned something new. Now I'm going to Google Lens this, see if I can find it. Google Lens is my best friend because I don't have the time to sit and think up a description for something. And Google's just like, oh, that picture of a plate, look at that. Right there. There it is. This one says it's Lennox, though, and I don't think this is Lennox. They're calling this Chinese floral? No, that's different. Oh, there it is. Sur La Table serving platter. This one sold for 40 bucks. Where is my measuring tape? Tools to always have on hand. Measuring tape. This one's a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is the smaller set than the one that sold for $40. This is 8.5 inches. I'm going to list it for 30. And what I do with everything is I put it in my buy it now section so that anybody that wants to go buy it before my show can go pick it up. But then the day of the show, I run everything at auction at $5. And then I think it's nice so people can see the value of what I looked it up for, in addition to being able to purchase it outside of the show and pick anything up that they specifically wanted from seeing a video like this. Oh, I do have more of them. Okay. I have more of these plates. How many more? Do I have the full set of 8? All right, this changes things. I have the full set of 8. Okay. 1, 2. 2 have chips. 3 do not. So we're going to have to go back and edit the listing again and say that there are 3 of these and this one. There are 2 of them. And that makes my life so much easier. You're a Whatnot dummy. Do you have a list for everything you are planning to sell before your sale? Kind of. So I'll show you here. So this is how I go and make my listings on Whatnot. I do it all from my phone. You can also do it from the computer, but I find it's easier to do it from the phone because I upload pictures at the same time. So if you go into the shop right here, so these are the things that I have listed so far. And this was what will create my catalog for the sale. You can list them as an auction starting up or list them and buy it now. And what I like to do about buy it now is people can buy this outside of the time of the show. So if someone wants to go and buy one of these right now, I will get the invoice and ship it out before my show on Saturday even starts. You can also list your giveaways, and you can also list things live during the show, which I've also seen a lot of sellers do. You don't need to add a picture to your listing, but it helps if you're adding things to your buy it now section. And then you can also copy over listings from previous sales. So everything that I list in here, it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell during this sale because I can copy it over and it's like a running inventory throughout, you know, my Whatnot sales for the future. There's also this shop category. So I don't know if you've been to someone's page, but there's this new feature where you can shop either the upcoming buy it now items, see the upcoming auctions in their sale, or see some of the things that are in their shop front or their storefront. So this is kind of different ways that you can structure all of your items and figure out how you want to leverage your strategy of listing things on Whatnot. Hello?
Hi.
Do-
Any attachments are to the vacuum?
Nope. Which vacuum?
The little one? Dyson?
No. No, I don't. Good luck. While I am listing, he is cleaning the inside of our cars out. We tried washing our cars last week, and fortunately, he was able to park his in the garage, so his didn't get rained on. But we've had like dewy mist in the morning, and now my car was dirty the next day. So, how many days does Whatnot give you to ship? That's a great question, and I really don't know because I've pushed it a couple times to 3, sometimes even 4 days. Never gotten a notice or demerit or mark on my account, but I'm not gonna advise anybody else to do that. What I will usually do is the day of the sale, right after my sale, or the very next morning, I will print out and generate all the shipping labels, and then I will mark it for bulk pickup for the next day, and I'll schedule my pickup from USPS. And usually, if you get the majority of them out and registered and scanned in, you have a little bit of extra time to do some other ones. So that's how I manage getting all of them out. If I have a sale that's particularly heavy and I have a lot of things that I have to do, I'll try to get as many of the small items out first and then worry about some of the larger items that might take a little bit more time after. And I haven't had a problem with it yet, knock on wood. I'm gonna jinx myself. Just watch. Hi, Christina. Usually I try to get things out with 2-day shipping, and it will say on your page, um, what your yeah, so my average shipping time right now on my page is 3 days. What the new strategy that I'm adopting as I'm moving to Saturdays is I have all of Sunday that doesn't technically count as a business day, and Saturday I don't think counts as a business day either, but especially with the mail, I kind of have a gap day and giving myself a little more time to get shipments out. You were wondering how they were in comparison to selling on eBay. I think that because they're so small right now and because their team is, you know, working on growth and getting new people to the platform, they're a lot more lenient than eBay is. But I have heard sellers say that because they waited too long or something happened, they got a mark on their account and it could affect your popping up in the algorithm. It could affect the way people engage with your shows. I'm not entirely sure what the repercussions of not shipping out in 2 days have been or could be. Oh, get off, get off. I do have a couple links in the description below if you're looking for either my Whatnot page where I'm listing all of these items, or if you haven't signed up for Whatnot yet and you want a free $10 to spend in any show anywhere and just test out the platform, there's a link for that. And then there's another link that if you want to become a seller and apply to sell on the platform. Usually, if you're using a referral link, you have a slightly better chance of getting approved because they do manually approve each and every seller's account to make sure that you're legitimate and not just, going up and going to have one sale one time. They want to know that you're a reseller that understands, how to create an engaging show and bring people to the platform. There is a piece of tape on this thing. And I put nails on and I cannot get it off. Okay. Now this little vase, super cool, doesn't have any mark on it whatsoever. It has some interesting glazing at the bottom though. I'm interested to see what Google says about you. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I like the fact that there's a $2,000 vase that pops up, but I don't think it's the same. I'm trying to see. Oh, that is it. Oh, it's just, is that a chip in the glaze? It looks like a little bit. Oh, thanks for the reminder, Chicken Mama. Yes, like this video, thumbs up this video. It helps with the algorithm. This is definitely not Murano glass, and it's definitely pottery. So let's refine our search. Pottery. Hmm. I can't find it. So we're just going to list it for, I don't know. It does kind of look like this glazing, and it is shiny, but I can't find it anywhere, and it doesn't have a mark. So 25 it is. Look how pretty it is. That little ombre glaze. No worry, chicken mama. You're here now. That's what matters. Now I'm going to go over to my fancy dancy little, I don't know if you can see this, photo studio up here. And I can show you guys how I take some of my better pictures for things that are tall. Flat pictures or plates or small things, I just take it on my scale. But if it's a 3D object, I like to put it up in this section right here. So I hope you can still hear me. But this is my makeshift light box. So I take my light and I put it on the side here. And then I take my other light and put it on the other side. No, not blue, not blue. I want the yellow light. Oh, rude. Okay. There we go. Stay here. Stay here. Balance. That is not enough light coming through here. So what this white filter material kind of does is diffuse the light so that there's no harsh light and lines on my piece. And really, I'm not going for like eBay listing quality here. I just want a good photo, a well-lit item. I don't think this light is bright enough. Oh, that's why, because it's only at 64%. Give me brightness. No, I don't want any of those. I don't want any of those. Can I just have... Okay. 100% light. That's what I want. Bring it to the front, maybe. I need 2 lights like that one. This little baby light is not giving what it needs to give. But you know what? We'll make it work. I also like the informality of Whatnot over selling on any other platforms, because I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I do deserve 5K subs already. Thank you. I was on this like pretty steady growth track, and then I don't know what happened, but it just all started tumbling downwards. I lost a bunch of subscribers. My view counts have been down for a while. I kind of shifted the thrift with me videos that I was doing and haven't been able to do as many live videos. So I think the algorithm has kind of recognized that I took a little bit of a break and isn't pushing me as much anymore. But c'est la vie. That's being a content creator. It's just a grind back up and maintaining consistency and getting back to where I was and trying to build up steam. I've also been introducing a different type of video than what I originally was doing when I got a lot of my new traction. So I think YouTube's having a little bit of a difficult time figuring out who to put my videos in front of because of that difference in material that I'm creating. Ceramic, orange, tan, ombre, base. And the shipping weight is, I can't see, 7 ounces. I will say, I think one of the best purchases that I've gotten for my business is this little acrylic cart right here. I'm going to wiggle you guys around for a minute and show you. This little cart right here, I put all of my items that I am going to use in a sale on here, have them all contained in one space, and then can easily access and then ship them out from there too. So if you guys are needing any advice on what to get for your business, have something like this that you can like tactilely use. I have my laptop on top of it. I have all the items below, and then I have a measuring thingy scale over here too. And then it's on wheels, so I can wheel it over anywhere I need to. Very handy little thing. Is this the lid? I just listed it. Where'd it go? I hate when I do this. Okay, well, let's go back to Google, see if we can find an update on what this is. Now that we have the full image of it. A ginger jar. Hmm. 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 Interesting, interesting. Nothing's really coming up. I thought for sure that lid shape would have helped us identify what this is. But alas, it does not. Okay, well, we gotta go take a picture with the lid. Get up here. Get up here. With lid. Okay then. Oh, don't break anything. Ooh, this is pretty. A little, I believe this is glass because it's not, I don't know, that feels sharp. I can never tell. Again, this is my biggest weakness. I can never tell if something is crystal or glass. If you're in my whatnot shows, you know this. 12 ounces. Quite pretty though. It's got a really cool like windmill design. What are those pinwheels? That's what that reminds me of. And then the starburst at the bottom. Okay, let's see here. Glass. Pinwheel. I'm going to call it a pinwheel base. The other thing I really like about Whatnot is that I can name something whatever I want. If I don't know the name, I really don't have to look it up. The Star of David pattern, early American pressed glass from the 1950s. Oh, is that what this is? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, let's see. Let's see what Google. Google wants to call this a Lennox crystal bud vase. Oh, look at that. That's exactly what it was. It was pinwheels. Wow. Is this a 6-inch version? Look, I found it, 1, on eBay, and 2, you collect them? Oh, nice. Oh, it's the exact one. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to list it. How heavy are you? You're 13 ounces. I'm going to go back. Back. So if it's Lennox, does that mean it should be signed somewhere? Or would it have had a sticker that said Lennox on it? And it is crystal. So here I go again, thinking that it was glass when it was really crystal. I can never win. Well, it is off in my buy it now section on my next sale. If you would like to go pick it up for yourself. Oh, this is a cool one I found. This is a vintage Disney tray. Wonder what year. It just has the copyright, but not a year on it. So I don't want to use multi-purpose spray on this. It's metal though. It would have had a sticker. Gotcha. Okay. See, that right there is the entire reason that I put things in the buy it now section beforehand, so that somebody that is truly a collector or wants to go pick it up doesn't have to gamble in the auction side of it if it's something that they were really looking for. But again, if you do like to gamble and, you know, try to get it at a cheaper price, the auction format is very fun. But a lot of the times it ends up going for more than the buy it now price anyway, because you get into a bidding war for something. So, and if you need me to take more pictures of it or want me to show it better here on this camera, please just let me know. Where's that wet spot? Doo, doo, doo. Is anybody else listing with me right now or getting work done? Let me know what you're doing so we can all support each other. And if you're just here to listen, that's fine too. Just want to feel like you're hanging out with somebody tonight. Ugh. I have been doing a lot of reading of this psychology magazine that I get that's been doing research on the feeling of belonging. And obviously, that's one of the things that we're probably missing in life right now, between being locked up for 3 years and everything being in a remote world. It's really hard to curate that sense of belonging the way it was before, even now that everything's open back up, because we just aren't going out as much. We aren't communicating with people as much. So that's kind of why I like these little live sessions where I can just sit here and chat with you guys, get to know you, and make it very informal. And Grant sometimes joins us. What are you doing?
I'm cleaning the car.
Oh, was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just bringing stuff in here. You're not coming to say hello.
Huh? Not too much. I'm in clean mode. I'm getting tiger cloths I can use.
I cleaned it. You were gathering things that you needed to ship tomorrow. You are here listening and enjoying your talks that come with wisdom and laughter. Totally slacking, and that is totally okay. You know what? This is what I've learned. I work too much. I work too dang much, and having that time to just rest and sit back and not do anything is also important. So don't feel like you're slacking. You are taking appropriate break for your mental health. There's always a way to spin something. You worked 12 hours today. You're done. Yeah, that working a 12-hour shift or just 12 hours in general is enough to make anybody need a nap. Okay, what do we do? Whoa. What was that? What app am I in? Oh, I was searching in eBay directly. That's not what I want. I'm gonna search with Google. I do think eBay is a pretty powerful search tool, but I like seeing how much or where else the item that I'm listing is up for sale on. Like most of these are eBay, but there's an Etsy one, and I've seen more and more things pop up on Etsy and show up at the top of the Google shopping bar. He's one of the good ones. He is. He helps out a lot with either things around the house, normal like chores and tasks. He's definitely. We're talking about you.
Oh yeah. Wow, going full quiet. Must have been something important.
I lost my train of thought.
Wow.
But I was saying that you're definitely not the type of guy that doesn't clean up after himself.
That's very true.
If anything, I think he cleans more than I do. Okay, so the set of 2 is 15.
I think we're out of luck.
What are you looking for?
Well, I had an old leather cleaner, but the bottles were so old.
Oh.
They were cracked.
Okay, no, don't listen to me when it comes to leather cleaning. I changed my mind. We went through this before.
I'll just buy some more at some point. I'm not that kid today to do that. I need to find the other hose attachment
For
the little vacuum. You're the one that put the new one on with the old one.
okay, hold on. This is the problem. Oh, it's up here in this little thing, I think. It's one of these. There's 2 vacuums worth of attachments in here, so good luck.
What's this one?
If I get up from what I am doing, the opportunity for me to get distracted and go on a tangent and go start working on something over there is very high. So it's a delicate process when I stop doing what I was doing.
What's that up here?
Uh-huh. The box was on top of it. I don't know if the box is on all the way. Oh, that light is coming in right on my eyeball. Oh, look at this cute little guy. I wonder if there's a lid in here. There's gotta be a lid. Ooh. Look at these. I'm getting ahead of myself. Not all Lennox was signed. That's good to know. Where was Lennox made? Lennox is one of the made in USA brands, right? Is Lennox still being produced today, or is it a vintage only type item? All right. That was easy enough. Oh, there's one tiny little piece of tape on here. Oh, and they still have the plugs. They're wrapped. Just one of them's wrapped. Oh, okay. That's why it's wrapped. There's salt in there. Just put that over there just in case. So this might be a good opportunity for me to ask you guys what you think about my content creation plans going forward. I've talked a lot about marketing on my mom's channel, and I do a lot of mental health discussions in my like shorts and TikTok videos, but I haven't really dove into that in depth in a longer form content. And I know we talk a lot about it in my lives, but what do you guys think about doing more like mental health talks on this channel? It's something I'm really passionate about. I've studied a lot about it, and I like being able to help people. And what I found is, okay, let's not get the weight with my phone on there. What I found is I'm having a hard time figuring out how to talk about things without outing all of the people that I give advice to and talk to about, their mental health. And I don't want to give away any of their personal struggles or, have it get back to them in any way that someone might know or put two and two together that this person is going through this, because I want them to be able to confidently talk to me about things. But I do also know that the things that they're struggling with are things that thousands of people are struggling with. It's definitely not an isolated incident. So that's what I'm working on right now. I haven't come to a good resolution on it. Hand lotion is good for taking off stickers and gunk. Oh, that's interesting. I never would have guessed that. I'm going to have to try that. Dansk salt and pepper shakers manufacturer flaw. So look at these guys. Look at this. This ripple in the painting. Okay, lighting. This ripple in the painting right here. It looks like it's straight from the manufacturer. That doesn't look like it would have been something that happened afterwards. But they're still nice salt and pepper shakers. So I'm going to list them. And they are 15 ounces. You just finished the Unduck Yourself, because I don't want to get demonetized. It's a book about getting out of your head and into your life. I haven't read that one per se. I've listened to it in audiobook and read, I don't know, countless other books that are along the same sentiment. And I agree. That's exactly the kind of stuff I want to be talking about, sharing my journey of mental health and helping other people recognize that they're not alone in the things that they're experiencing. And sometimes we feel like we're very isolated and like everyone else is perfect. So we should be perfect too. And our weaknesses are shining through if we're vulnerable or have emotions or, come off as not strong, but in actuality, it's completely opposite. We all have that same thing that we're fighting against, that we're fighting over and trying to figure out how to navigate through this very confusing life. And that's something that I think needs more attention, especially now in our day and age. And I could be a very helpful aid to more people on a larger scale. I already know the discussions that I have personally with the people that I talk to. So I want to expand on that and bring that to more and more people. Okay. Look at this little guy. And me, because I have ADD, I can't just do one thing. I have to be a reseller and talk about mental health. It's needed. I think people need to hurt out loud. I agree. I think people need to learn how to hurt and not to bottle it up. And I think a lot of times it gets bottled up and repressed. And then when it does come out, it hurts a lot more than it should. And feeling those emotions, identifying them, and understanding how to process them ourselves and not processing them through conversation with other people, I think that's very important, and recognizing and realizing when people are processing emotions externally and what actions are leading to that. I talk a lot about intention over attention, like doing things for intention rather for attention. And a lot of the times, I think we get caught up in the doing for attention and attention seeking behaviors. And sometimes it's perfectly fine. You can, a bid for affection with your significant other, going to your friend, doing things for attention isn't necessarily bad, but when we recognize it and can be aware of it and balance between intention and attention, I think that's a really key thing that not a lot of people know how to navigate and do. We all stay in our heads a little too often and forget to stop and smell the roses. Absolutely. I think my generation is more open to talking about mental health and it's less of a stigma. But previous generations, like my mom, we've had multiple chats about how stigmatized it was for her growing up and things like your needs in a relationship or what a woman's role was in the relationship. And, if you're being too needy, if you're being too what XYZ, whatever it was, and you had to kind of bury down those things. And because she lived the majority of her life in that mindset, going back and trying to flip the script and redo things is, even more difficult than someone like me who discovered it before I was 27 when my brain was fully developed. So, I also think that parallel is incredibly interesting and I've seen more and more older generation people struggle with different things and struggle with the acceptance that they're struggling, if that makes sense. 7 ounces. Okay, what are you? Oh, that's funny. So I'm Google lensing this little vase right here, and pictures of beer are coming up. That's hilarious. Can build resentment and hurt for ourselves. Absolutely. Your generation was taught to stuff it and suck it up. Better out with shame than in with pain. Should be easier to express than causing the pain and no longer thinking it's shameful. Absolutely. Shame is one of those things that if you've listened to Brene Brown at all, her entire career is based around unpacking shame, understanding what it is and its kind of role that it's played in society. And on one hand, it's been this survival mechanism, um, finding acceptance and belonging within society, fitting the status quo. And I think that there's a lot of uh, overlap with the community of people that have ADHD or autism that's so severely underrecognized that relies on that kind of shame and embodies it to fit in better and not be outcast. Even though we're told to celebrate our differences and celebrate being unique, we're also told on the same hand, like, don't stand out from the crowd. You're not supposed to do those things. So I think we get a lot of conflicting information. And we generally tend to size other people up, especially women. If you're a woman, you've probably experienced at one point or another in your life the jealousy or comparison that women are pitted against each other in so many different scenarios because if somebody else is better than you, it makes you feel lesser than. If someone else has the body that you want, if someone else has the clothing that you want, the man you want, the XYZ, whatever it is, it means that you're not good enough because you don't have that thing, which is not true. But in our mind, that's what we've been predisposed to think. Mid-century pilgrim. What is this called? What is this called? This is on Poshmark. Okay. Mid-century pilgrim hand-blown amber crackle glass. Mini picture. Oh gosh, no, no, no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm clicking on things. And paste. False craft, are we talking about this guy? Fun fact, all of my dishes are false craft. If you follow along and you've seen some of the pieces that I've collected and some of the things my mom has found for me, all of my dishware is vintage, well, I guess antique now, false craft. You don't have any female friends, not great at navigating that. Me either. It is so difficult to make friends. I don't know if you guys heard me talk about this recently, but I just had one of my long-term friends of 7 years. The first woman that I met when I moved to San Diego, we were in classes together at the community college. We have been friends, for 7 years. She friend broke up with me out of nowhere, and I was so shocked and betrayed and hurt, and I had no idea where it came from because we shared the most, like, intimate details of our lives with each other, like, the good, the bad, the ugly, the worries, the boyfriends, everything that we experienced in life. She was someone I would have considered being in my bridal party someday, and out of nowhere, she said, "I don't think our relationship is valuable enough to continue and maintain." And I was just like, "I did everything I could. How am I supposed to do this?" So it is all too familiar. You can be someone that tries your best to be attentive to relationships and show up as your true authentic self and be caring and kind and maintain things, and people still don't want to be your friend. And I think that's not to say anything bad about her. At least she was honest in saying, like, "I don't feel like maintaining this relationship." Maybe she had never felt like maintaining it and it always felt forced from her end, and she just finally got to the point where it was too much, which that's perfectly understandable, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt any less. And I've had, friends throughout the ages that come, go, we've all had that. But it's really difficult to make new friends as you get older and as you're an adult because you're established in your routines, your friend groups, your things that you do. You don't have a lot of time to go out and make new friends. And I think something that I struggle with is I see someone, and I don't do this anymore. I've been a lot more conscious about it. But I go out and I meet someone and we align on, we have a really good chat. We're deep diving on all of our past experiences, our values align. We are excited about the same kind of things. We have the same or similar hobbies. I instantly would put that person in my like close friend group. And that was something that was off-putting to a lot of people because that's not normal, but that's how I immediately felt. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this person could be my best friend." And I did that with relationships too. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this person is perfect." You put them up on the pedestal, you put them into your life too deep, too fast, too hard. And then it all starts breaking apart because you don't have those critical foundational things that you built over time to make a sustaining relationship with someone. And that goes for romantic interest or just friendship interest. And I think, and I've talked a lot about this with my mom, that's why we deviate towards pets so much. That's why we like pets because there is no building on a relationship with them. They unconditionally accept you and are overjoyed to see you. They want their food, they're excited. Like it's a consistent relationship with our animals. Whereas people, there's so many variables and it's hard to track and it's hard to pick up on those signals. And I consistently would have problems where I would bring people in and be really hurt when they didn't want to be as close of a friend as I was trying to be with them right off the bat. Cannot make people love us. That is absolutely true. You have one good and close friend in your BFF husband. Oh, your BFF husband. Okay. I think that like really solidifying your core people that are in your life, and this is something that I'm trying to figure out right now, is So your significant other can't be everything, right? They can't fulfill all of your needs. And we have so many needs that aren't addressed or identified of like what we need fulfillment for in the community. And it's one of those things where, again, it's a balance of figuring out how your needs are being fulfilled, your social needs, your romantic needs, your, need for deep conversation. What people in your lives can you trust to fulfill those needs? And what needs do you need to fulfill on your own and make sure that you're like filling your own cup? And all of that is exhausting enough. And then I also have to do a 9 to 5 job. I don't get out of here. That's like you, and then you feel you're nosy. I've had that problem too, where I feel my invest people think that my interest or investment into them can be seen as, something negative, or they don't quite understand. Like, I'm a very spazzy person, right? Like, you see me switch context and conversations 900 times, right? So, I think a lot of people, if they're not also ADD, then they have a hard time relating and having conversations with me. And when I get excited, I talk faster and I talk louder and I get, you know, so really managing that and how I present myself to people that I'm learning is something still that I'm always going to have challenges with that. You agree, you have 5 rescue dogs, and they are your truest, loyalest friends, and I think that's okay too. I think that is something to recognize and understand and rely upon for, one of those needs, to understand that, like Dozer, he is my emotional support cat. He knows when I'm not feeling well. I know that I can rely on him to give me cuddles and always be there, and having that as a parallel to, the other relationships, like, I can't get that same consistency from a human that Dozer gives me, mostly because he knows I'll give him treats. I'm very intelligent and interesting. I try. I try my best. It's all self-awareness. But that's one of the things I wanna help other people learn for themselves, discover, have a safe place to make mistakes and discuss things and be open to learning a different perspective on something. I think like we all have our perspective of how the world works and what the most important thing is. But that's the thing. It's so unique to us that no one else will ever experience or have the perspective that we have. And I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think it's also a very lonely thing. And figuring out how to make it feel a little less lonely by understanding other people's perspectives the most we can is fun. I don't know, helpful. We'll always have a dog, and there's always one animal that loves you more than themselves. Yep. One of them is your emotional support animal, poor thing. But I'm sure they like you being there. That's the whole thing too. As long as it's a balanced relationship between the 2 of you. Animals don't feel emotions the same way we do, which is another reason I probably think that I deviate towards them to sit with when I'm not feeling good or feeling sad or down, because I don't think they feel sad the same way I feel sad. They might be able to empathize in some way and recognize when I am feeling sad and understand the comfort that I need of being close, but, they're not gonna get sad that I broke up with someone or they don't get to see XYZ friend anymore. That's what I tell myself to sleep at night. Ooh, Denmark. Another thing I've been doing more research into is the attachment styles. And if any of you have done any of that work and realize that you're an anxious attachment style, ooh wee, that is another level of like loneliness. in relationships and life. And all the advice out there is for people with anxious attachment styles to learn how to regulate their own emotions and learn how to, not off-put people with avoidant attachment styles, but it's the both of them that need to change and adjust. But only one of them will ever notice, recognize, and realize what they need to do to have a healthy relationship. And that truly is the loneliest experience. But we'll be lonely together. Okay, this is a pretty interesting plate. Royal Copenhagen? No, that's different. Bing and something? B and G. Worldantique.net. That seems like a reliable source. Christmas rose dinner plate. This doesn't look like a dinner plate. This looks like you should do a podcast. I've thought about it, actually. It's something that I've wanted to figure out how to coordinate. I just don't have the time. I was gonna do one with my mom. And we were gonna talk about like generational differences and our experiences because we pretty much have a very similar childhood and early like 20s experience of the traumas that we've had, the parental problems that we've had, kind of that generational trauma that we've now identified and collectively healed. So that's something that maybe I'll invite her to do a chit chat on my channel on. These are dessert plates, not dinner plates. So dessert plate. This is, oh gosh, 6 3/4. Oh gosh, oh man. Now I understand why they did it in centimeters. 17 centimeters long. Should I list them together or separate? Okay, these are the Royal Copenhagen. No, Denmark. What are they called? D and G. No, B and G. B and G. Does that say Copenhagen? Denmark. Look how pretty these are. Nope, you can't see. Nope, there. There. I have 2 of them. I think I want to list them individually. I don't know. I'm going to list them for 15 and list them individually, and then they're probably going to go to auction and we'll see what happens. They're pretty plates though. Your cat passed away a few months ago and you miss him so much. Don't want to get another one because down the road I want to move to Florida. Oh, that's rough. That is very rough. I know that pain. Cats are a lot easier to move than other animals, but also they are very, they like being in one spot and don't like change. Dozer's had to move 4 times now, 4 times. And I feel so bad because every single time it's an adjustment period for him. It takes a long time for him to get, comfortable in a new space. And then with the introduction of Daisy, it's like a battlefield for him. But he's a trooper. Now look at this guy. It's a pear. It's a pear jar. It is made in China. I don't even know why I have my lights on right now because I am not using them. Boop. And for those of you that are wondering always, like, how does Jordan get so much stuff done? This is how. Because I multitask in literally every instance of my life. Oh my. Okay, this is the exact one. This is a ginger jar. This is a ginger jar. Um, I wish Etsy told you what something sold for. But it does look like they're going for a lot of money. Is this the exact one here? Oh, wow. This is the exact one, and it's listed right now for $137. And they're calling it a wine jug? Interesting, interesting. Let's see if I can find that anywhere else. How heavy are you? Hmm, hmm, hmm. I have said to myself many, many a time, I get sad over the idea of Dozer just passing away, and he is so far from that. We did have a scare last year, but I don't know, 2 years ago now. But just the idea of not having him in my life anymore makes me tear up, and, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when he's gone because he has gotten me through so, so much. There's only one of these listed. Wow, some of these are really expensive. Okay, we're gonna list it for 90 and see what happens. Just put it in my storefront and see if anybody's interested. I feel like this is one of those things that the right buyer is gonna come along and they're like, "Oh, that's the exact thing I've been looking for. You listed it too low, you fool." And they're gonna get a great deal, and then everyone wins. Oh, is this the lid to that guy that I was looking for earlier? Yes, it is. I'm glad I waited. No, okay. It does look like it was hinged at some point, and the hinge is broken, but it's still a cool little piece. He was 14. Oh, he lived a lovely long life at least. Losing a fur baby truly is losing a member of your family. Don't cast reflections. Oh, there's a mark on the bottom. I am very thankful that we live in a day and age where there's so many talented artists available that can um, make. So I've seen a lot of different things. So there's artists that can do like a painting of your animal that looks super realistic, and then there's ones that can do like felt art, like felt. What are those heads that are like on a thing? They like make your pet, and they put some of their hair or their whiskers into that art, and it's like a 3D art sculpture of your pet. And then there's other people that now you can take their ashes and turn them into either a diamond or a piece of jewelry, or um, like embed them in something and make a piece of art. And I'm very happy that we live in a time where it's just, it's not just bury them in the ground and remember them. It's we have all these ways to really show what they mean to us and still carry them with us. And I think that's really important. And all the videos we can take of them. It means so much more than just a photo. B&G Bing. I think that's what I had. Where is it? This one? This guy. That guy? What's the 28 on the back for? Oh, that sunshine is just like right there, turning me into a ghost. Vintage Moroccan teapot. Oh, it's missing the little ruby on this side. Oh, nothing happened. But it is signed. Missing some gems as is. Estate sales. How heavy are you? You're not as heavy as I thought you'd be. And what's that little 56 up here? Is this a mark of the type of metal that was used to make it? I do love when I have interesting things for my shows that I can share with you guys. Also, the amount of knowledge that you guys share with me about the items that I have, so much fun. Oh boy, get off. I I think I can get it, It's that overconfidence of being able to peel off a label, and then I rip it, and then it's like, "Oh, man." Do, 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 do. All right, we have another Dansk. Dan I always do this. It's always upside down. I have a bunch of this stuff this time, from the salt and pepper shakers to the whatever this is, coffee cups. I think I have a whole like little place setting. you lost your fur babies too in January. A dog of 17 years and a cat of 12. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. It is that time though of like you've had them for we all get them at a certain age, right? Like I feel like there's milestones where you get your pets and then we all collectively get to those milestones where they start passing away at the same time. Grant's mom, their family cat passed last year. The year before that, her the other cat that they had passed, and then I think the year before that, before I met him, their family dog passed. So it was like boom, boom, boom. And then her mom and dad also just passed. So it was like a cascade of everything. She lost everything. And then I think that was the first year that we also weren't going home to her house for Christmas, or her boys weren't going home to her house for Christmas because his older brother is engaged and they were going to her family and then we were going to my mom. So it was just like one thing after another. I did read something one time though that made me kind of view mourning in a different way, where as a lot of the time you want to avoid those feelings. They feel so horrible, they're overwhelming. Um, thinking about them again makes you tear up, but it was this saying that said, the emotions that you're feeling is the impact of how much you love them and how much you cared about them and is honoring them again. And that kind of made me see it in a different way of being happy is the wrong word, but being more accepting of every time that I did get emotional and not holding it back because holding it back meant that I wasn't appreciating who they were in my life. So take that if that helps you. I don't think there is anything that truly helps the grieving and mourning process, though. It's something that we have to go through, we have to live through. And the more you try to put it off or avoid it, the worse it ends up being because those emotions, like we were talking about earlier, they're going to come out one way or another. They're going to manifest themselves into your life. Everything does always seem to happen at once. What's that, Murphy's Law? I don't know if it's a one of those things where you know how when you see or you're thinking about a red car and now you see red cars everywhere, if it's kind of that happens, or just like negative energy knows when you're experiencing something and just everything decides to follow along. I don't know what it is. I don't think that's something that humans have an answer for either. Nothing helps. We have to go through it. Yep. That's a lot of things in life, unfortunately. The human experience, if you will, it sucks, but at least we can all have it suck collectively together. I do think that as bad as this sounds, and I don't want this to come off in the wrong way, but losing an animal in your young formative years is one of those experiences that it sucks and it's terrible and you feel so bad for your child, but I also think that it helps them in a way understand the cycle of life that we go through. And I have this, I call it the theory of invincibility, right? We want to protect our children and make them, make sure that they are um, not going to get hurt. That's our nurturing, caring, that's our job as a parent. But I think, especially with young men, they have this theory of being invincible as they grow up. And until they are shown, the limitations of their body, their mind, what they can get away with essentially. And they all experience this differently. And I think this is a course of exploring their independence as a human. They test the limits of their invincibility. And I think having an animal that passes away young in life helps them understand the limits of their invincibility at a better stage. I came up with that theory when I was working with a lot of individuals that suffered spinal cord injuries. And if you don't know my whole past, dad was in a wheelchair. I worked with wheelchair sports all of my life, and that's what brought me to San Diego originally. I was working with the wheelchair rugby team here as a coach and equipment manager. And to be eligible to play wheelchair rugby, you have to have an impairment in all four limbs, and the majority of that was spinal cord injuries. And if you listen to any of those guys that got injured or were doing something when they had a spinal cord injury, the majority of the time it was, oh, I was doing something to show off or impress someone, or I was drinking, and it's all in those formative years of like 19 to 23. And that's like, I would say like 70% of them. Some of them are freak accidents or car accidents or, things that happen. But a lot of those too align with that theory of invincibility of driving too fast, driving in the improper conditions, not being aware or protecting our body or other people's bodies. So I don't know where I was going with that. Your friend Dana had a heart attack at 42. That's young for a heart attack, is it not? I don't know what age people are supposed to be getting heart attacks. Isn't there a show out there where men and boys do really stupid things? Are you talking about the one with Johnny Knoxville, or are you talking about the one with Ridiculousness on MTV? Basically anything on MTV. And like the way we laugh, and this goes back to intention over attention. The way you get attention for being goofy or being silly or falling or someone getting hurt. I feel like that plays into it too. We do a lot of that attention seeking behavior for the sake of attention, and it compounds because you want more and more attention. You gave your teenage don't do dumb poop. Yes, it's still not going to help them though sometimes. Teenagers do really dumb things. And I think that is, we all do it. It's the price of growing and not having a fully developed brain. Our brains don't fully develop, and our cognitive reasoning isn't there until 27. And I will continue to tell that to any young person I ever meet, because when I learned that, I was like, oh, it all makes sense why nothing made sense before. And yet the world expects us at 21 to be this fully formed individual that knows how to do everything and be responsible when we physically are not capable of doing it yet. Oh, she was a chain smoker. You begged her to quit, but she wouldn't, and she was overnight. That is so sad. I think the hardest part is when you want to help someone more than they want to help themselves, and you want to, you want them to live longer. You want them to be there for longer and be healthy. And then some people just don't want that for themselves and are okay with the consequences of their actions. And it sucks. You don't know the names of the show. They just do ridiculously stupid stuff and always get hurt. Always young men. Yeah. Well, there is one. I don't know if I can say the name on YouTube because I'll get demonetized, but Jack Donkey. That's a good way to say it. Jack Donkey is the show. They have a bunch of movies. It's Johnny Knoxville. It's basically just them running around, pranking each other, hurting each other, doing these ridiculous, crazy stunts. They will launch themselves in a rocket-powered shopping cart, off a skateboard ramp. That's their level of ridiculousness. And Steve-O, one of the guys, has come out and he's stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs, and he's shared a lot of his experiences of the crazy stuff that he's dealing with now with health concerns and all the problems he has from doing all those ridiculous, crazy stunts in his younger years, and how their crew just kind of compounded that attention-seeking behavior and didn't really think of any repercussions of long-term effects that was coming from any of this. And it's hard to do. It's hard to look at what you're doing right now and say, in 10 years, how is this going to affect me? Because we don't know what we don't know. How is sitting in a chair all day long going to affect me in 10 years? It's not. I'm doing it now. I don't know. But now that I realize, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have been sitting all day long in my younger years because now I have chronic back pain and sciatica from being a desk employee. Oh, and do not get me started on trying to tell someone the things. I wish we could learn from other people's knowledge and wisdom better. I wish I could just take all of the things in my brain thoughts and like put them in younger people and be like, hey, younger people, listen. But like they won't. They have to learn it for themselves. There's few that will listen, but they don't know how to implement those changes and like process what they've heard enough. Thank you, T. Brooks. See you next time. She struggled with mental health, don't we all, and ADD issues. She was very creative and amazing baker. Well, I'm glad that she had you to recognize all of the good that you brought and how much love that you poured into her. Because at the end of the day, that's all we can do. We can just show people love while they're here on this earth with us. We can try to be the best person and version of ourselves, show up for ourselves and other people, and just get through another day. I don't think it's talked about enough either of how difficult it is to be someone's support system, like truly support someone, because the balance between enablement and support is a very fine line that a lot of people don't know how to navigate. And I'm trying to say things without giving away details of the people that I talk to. So when you're someone's support system, when you're signing up to be someone's support system, it's one of those things that you absolutely can take it back at any point. But knowing the full cost of what that means to the person that needed and relied on a support system, like, you have to weigh that at the very beginning when you're signing up. And it's not a short-term thing. It can take years sometimes. And there's people that I've talked to every single day for 2 years before they got into a good mental headspace when they could process their own emotions, before they went to therapy, before they didn't feel like being suicidal every day. And that's such a heavy weight and a heavy burden. And it's not always successful. The support that you're giving someone isn't always successful, but it's the most you can do. And you so badly want to give in and just fix things for them. You know what needs to be done. You see the puzzle pieces in front of them. If you just get XYZ, if you just help them, get into a stable house, then they'll be okay. If you just help them get to that next job, they'll be okay. But they have to want and do it for themselves. Otherwise, they're never going to be okay. It's kind of that teach a man to fish mentality. And that, when you're signing up to be someone's support system, is the hardest thing to navigate, because you're probably also their friend. This is never just, someone that you're blanket. You meet someone off the street, you're like, I'm going to sign up to be your support system. This is someone you know and love and also want to have a friendship relationship on top of them. And that line between enablement and support is so fine and so difficult to navigate a lot of times for people. And so painful to watch when people either take advantage of the support that you're giving them or don't fully recognize what you're sacrificing to help them with things. Dun, dun, dun. When you fail someone, you're feeling the failure yourself. It's very painful. I agree. Syracuse, China, federal shape, made in America. Oh, it's China, not the country. It's China, the dishware. Got it. Got it. Five and 1/8. Well, let's see. Yep. I love it when the measurements are online for me already. Uh-oh, my thing is losing battery. The one thing I hate about this scale that I have is it doesn't register anything under like 4 ounces anymore. So I just kind of have to guess like what it is if it's lower weight. And then it doesn't have an auto off if I leave it on. So the battery will drain, and it takes these big honking like C batteries, the square ones. So frustrating. Syracuse restaurant wear. Oh, cool. Neat. She was loving and kind and misunderstood by many. And I think that story reigns true for so many people. It is so hard for people to feel understood. I struggle with that all the time too. It's one of those things that's where that loneliness comes in, is no one is ever going to truly understand us the way that we want to be understood. And with enough time of being let down, disappointed, or investing in people that aren't investing in us, we kind of get negative and sour and don't care anymore and tend to give up. It is a constant battle to stay positive, to stay, in a healthy mindset. And it's a tough fight, and not everybody wants to fight all the time. And that's okay. What is on this bowl? Hello?
Hey, 5 minutes, you guys ready?
Oh. I'm not done yet. So you can eat without me.
How much longer do you have?
I don't know. I've only listed 15 things and I got to get through this box. So what's this? You watch a YouTube called Keto Twins. You're on keto and you have no one to talk to about it. People don't know what the keto diet is. I've heard of the keto diet. I don't necessarily know what it is because I have a hard time with diets personally because I'm one of those people that I have my safe comfort foods and it's a continuously rotating version of what that food is going to be, what I'm craving. And I would rather eat something than restrict myself in eating because of how I have issues with food. But I would love to hear about your keto diet. How's it going? What are you struggling with? What's the hardest and easiest parts about it? I've heard it's definitely one of the more intensive diets versus of like what you can eat and finding foods that are that fall into the guidelines of what you can eat. There's like the little things, right, that are in most prepackaged foods that you can't have. And then you go through like a big sickness, right? I also just struggle with having a hard enough time like maintaining what food I do have in my fridge and planning out meals. So, hmm, swirly bowl glass. That's what I'm going to call this. Blue swirl blown glass bowl. You are? Ooh, you're a heavy boy. Low carb, kind of like the Atkins back in the day. What are the differences to Atkins? Because Atkins is like primarily focused on eating heavy quantities of protein and meat, right? It is a pretty bowl. It looks hand blown too. Oh, it looks like there might be. Oh, wait, no, that's a. There's like a bubble inside, but it's pretty. What are you? Just a plate thing. Looks like a console bowl. Oh, it does. Like it would have some little like fake fruit or little like those bobbly balls in it. What will the starting bid be? Everything on my whatnot is a starting bid of $5. And I put everything in the buy it now section so that if you want to go grab it before the show, you can. I try to look things up and put a fair price in there, but if there's anything that you want to make an offer on, you can always message me on whatnot and we can negotiate the prices on there. I am not super stickler on anything. And there is a link to my whatnot down below if you are new, just joining us and are looking for how to find it. Do, 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 do. Oh boy, this is not helpful. Oh. Hmm. Is this just a like plate? No starch or sugar, lots of greens, veggies, meat, and fat. Okay. What about like sugar from fruit? Can you have like fruits? Is it like normal sugars are allowed, just not processed sugar, like added sugar? Acorn, plate. Do you like put something on top of this? Thanks for everyone for the love. Have a good rest of your night. Oh, I didn't wear earrings today. I am so out of my element. Have a good night. Thank you for being here, Betsy. Belt, bottom, acorn, plate. Do, 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 do. Fake sugar, no fruit, but berries are okay. Interesting. Okay. Oh, is that a trivet? I don't know. It could be. Trivet. Let's add that to the search terms. Mm, I don't think so. Would a trivet have felt on the bottom? I feel like felt isn't a good conductor of like heat things. It might be a candle plate. I can't smell any candle on it, but I feel like that's what I would use it for. Maybe like putting a pillar candle on top of, or I don't know. Oh, wait, I have another one. So, okay, well, I'm just going to copy paste what I said in that listing and put it over here. Felt bottom, acorn, oval plate. They're pretty cool. I do really like acorn. So it is a hot plate. Okay. I wasn't sure if you could use felt to put things onto that conduct heat, if it's like a flammable substance or if it's heat safe, or to what grade heat safe it is. If you go to YouTube, Keto Twins, they have each lost 100 pounds. Wow, that's great. Those people going through weight loss journeys, I can only imagine how difficult it is, because a lot of times, especially with women, it's not about how much you're eating, what you're eating. It's a balance of your hormones. It's figuring out, the time of day that your body likes to eat, the types of food that your body likes to eat, the way to regulate your hormones and the things that are going on internally. So, it's so much more complex than just like, "Oh, I go on a diet, I lose weight." It's like so many things happening. And for me, I have a problem keeping weight on. I am like, I can't eat enough. I could eat an entire pizza and not gain a pound because of the way my intestinal system works. It doesn't absorb food. So I have to be very careful about eating the right kinds of food that I can absorb. I have the complete opposite problem. You gave up on eBay selling. Do I like Whatnot? Absolutely. Yes. I hate listing on eBay. I hate listing on Poshmark. I don't mind listing on Whatnot. And I will scream this from the rooftops. Whatnot is so much easier to manage than any other reselling business. For me personally, um, I am in the mode of I don't want to store it. I want to turn and burn. So the faster I can sell things, the better for me. And that's what Whatnot enables me to do. And it also If I don't have time to list something, I can list it on the fly. If I don't have the, setup for a very high quality picture, I don't know what the item is, or I don't have time to research it, I can still list it on Whatnot. And there is a link below if you are interested in being a seller. I mentioned this earlier, but you can click that link to get a referral for being a seller. And what that does is it kind of like it helps give a little push on the back end, I think, when you're going in on a referral link of another seller versus just trying to be a seller alone on the Whatnot platform, because they go through each individual request to be a seller and review it. That's my Whatnot spiel. Hope you like it. But as being someone with a full-time job and a side gig and a reselling business and a YouTube channel and a TikTok channel and like XYZ other things that I do, Whatnot is so much more manageable than any other reselling app. It also helps, and I just thought of this right now, with the shipping aspect of a reselling business, because I don't have to ship out daily. I don't have to monitor, bids coming in, offers coming in, auctions ending. It's like I have a sale one day and I ship the next day, and then that's it. I have 2 days dedicated to it, and then done. Good night, Ruth. Have a great night's sleep. I hope you sleep well. Men do lose weight easier than women. Men have a lot of things going on in their bodies that's easier than women. I'm just gonna say that. You guys should be eternally grateful. You might be hairy, but inside, it's a lot less to maintain. Yep, 12. I think, and again, this is one of those, like, you don't know what you don't know situations, but men really have no understanding or concept what happens on a daily basis for women, like the things we have to maintain, the fluctuating energy levels, the cycles that we're dealing with, our hormonal levels, are like every little tiny thing that we do could throw the entire balance of our system off. They can't even comprehend it, because how could you? If their cycle is on a daily tick. Our cycle is on a monthly thing. So what they experience in a day, ours is extended out into a month. So of course they think we're crazy and manic. To them, we are. I do really enjoy the simulators, the period cramp and birth contraction simulators when they put them on men, and the difference of how when women put them on, they're just like, oh, yep, this is a cramp. I would still, go to work, cook everybody dinner, clean the house. This is just what I deal with. And then men are like on the verge of tears. I do appreciate that. I think anyone dating a woman should have to go through that as their initiation. That should be a new like wedding ceremony tradition. It would be great to stand up to pee. Okay, so this might be TMI, but for any of you that were like the shower peers, right? If you are a woman and you pee standing up, your body actually uses that as muscle memory. And anytime you stand up, after enough time, when you stand up afterwards, it's like a muscle reflex where it's like, oh, this is when you want me to pee. I didn't find that out until I was older. That's fun. Thanks. Men stub their toe and they think they're dying. That is accurate. That is accurate. We've all seen the man cold. But I mean, their experience of pain is so much different than ours, because we're predisposed to pain, right? We have our period cramps, which is conditioning us for child labor one day. Child labor, enough said, everything. Women are tough. I am reading a book. Oh, is this an anchor piece? It is. I'm reading a piece right now talking about, I think the book is called When Women Lead. It's along the same lines of a book called Why So Many Incompetent Men Become Leaders. Definitely recommend that one if you haven't read it. But it basically talks about the over prioritization in the workplace of confidence over competence. And all of the men that showed up with this like confident attitude that people thought was like a good trait of a leader, it's actually the quiet ones that are competent at their work and not trying to be in the spotlight and, feeding their ego, that are the ones doing the good work. And you don't hear about them as much because they're not in the news headlines. Because good news isn't celebrated as much as bad news is. So you hear about all of these male CEOs compared to women CEOs, and you don't hear a lot about the women CEOs, and you don't think that they're doing good, but they're doing so much better in their organizations a lot of the time because those women have fought and done the competent work versus the men who traditionally do the confidence work. Thank you for letting me talk about my friend. I don't talk about that much. It's good to talk, and I'm glad that you felt, vulnerable enough in this space to be able to share it. That's what this space is for. That's what I like to create here. And I am so happy that you felt willing and able to talk about it. Twitter, 1 pound. That is the one thing that I've heard consistently from a lot of my friends and coworkers and just people throughout life is they've all found me as someone they could easily talk to. And that's something that I want to continue here, to create that space to make more people feel comfortable in sharing and talking about things, because I don't think we talk enough. There is a funnel-like thing women can use to go. There is, but the muscles inside, they will betray you if you do it too often. Do you have to pay to do this live show? No, I do not. I actually monetize my YouTube channel, which means the ads that you see, anytime that you're watching an ad, a creator gets paid a piece of the revenue from that ad. So this video actually makes me some money, which is why I like doing some of these live chats and live ships with me, because it supplements if I'm not making enough, for my over under, trying to equalize my business revenue. This helps supplement some of the cost of sustaining a business. And full transparency, I make about, I don't know, anywhere from $100 to the max I've made $300 a month on YouTube from people watching my videos. It is not a lucrative business to start with. Oh, my light went out. Be a content creator, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I do enjoy it. It is fun. Is the show going for sale on Whatnot? Yes. So this show right now is prepping all of the things that are going to be in my next Whatnot sale on Saturday. There is a link down below to my Whatnot page where you can bookmark that show, get a notification when I do go live. I believe it's at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't quote me. There's also a link to sign up if you're not already a member on Whatnot. You can get a free $10 to spend in my show or anybody's show across Whatnot. And it does not cost money to go live on Whatnot either, but they do take a fee when you sell an item. I think it's a 3% fee off of the sale price of an item. The buyer pays the shipping cost. So you're not paying the shipping cost, but you do have to buy the shipping materials to ship things out. Um, for transparency, the bubble wrap I buy is now like, I want to say 25 to $30 a roll. The USPS boxes you can use if it's priority mail, if it's under, I think, 15 ounces and you're only shipping one item, a lot of the times it goes first class mail, which then you do have to find your own box. So there's a lot that goes into it, but once you figure it all out, it is worth it. Is this marble? It's heavy like marble. Marble candlestick. Your cat fetches like your dog and your arm. That is adorable. Does are place fetch sometimes. It would be right before bed when he gets his like zoomy energy. Um, I would toss like a like crinkly little wrapper or one of his favorite toys, like toss it off the bed, and he'd come back with it, and we'd do that probably like I don't know 20 times, and then he would fight with our feet under the sheets, and then he'd finally get tired and go to sleep. Oh my lord. It is a marble candlestick holder, and, they are quite expensive online. Hmm. Marble candlestick holder. What type of candle goes in this? Someone said it in my last show, and I can't figure it out. It's pillar? No. Mm, oh gosh, what's the tall, skinny ones? Oh, and this boy is heavy. Taper candle, thank you. The clear candle my mom's likes. I like those too, the ones with the little, like, gold little flecks in them. Oh, man, I wanted to steal those from her. Every time she finds one, I'm like, "Can I have that? Want that." She mistakenly thought I wanted the candlestick holders. She bought a pair, oh, man, it's probably a year ago now, but she bought a pair at a vintage shop that when she was here, and I was like, can I have those?" And she's like, "Oh, the candle holders? Of course." They had lucite candles in them. And she took the candles out and gave me the holders, and I was like, "Wait, no. No, I wanted the candles too." She's like, "Absolutely not. That's why I bought these." But the candle holders were pretty too. They were Italian. We have a lot of the same taste, which is one of those things that as a daughter, I'm like, "Oh, I'm turning into my mother." Not a bad thing, but also not the thing you want. Nobody wants to turn into their mother as much as I love her. I'm my own person. These are cool. Little wooden vases? Felt bottom, wooden vase. Okay, well, I have 2 of them. And this is gonna be difficult for me to list them because they're going to have the same name. I definitely am my own person. It's hard because online, a lot of people see, my mom, they hear her talk about me, and they're like, "Oh, that's, Jordan is an extension of her," which in some ways I am. A lot of the ways we're similar, but if you guys have compared our videos, like, I am nothing like my mom. We definitely go very different ways. I do think that's, something cool though in the way that we have very different belief systems of how we operate, how we, you know, think about things, our experiences, our political beliefs, our, relationship beliefs, our way of raising children beliefs. Like everything is just kind of different. And we still manage to have conversations that are constructive about each of those topics and come to maybe not an agreement, but a mutual respect most of the time, uh, of, like our relationship is more important than our belief systems and who we want to be. We celebrate each other's differences and respect that we are each our own individual person more than we care about like being right or convincing the other person that our opinion is the way that they should think. And I think more people should be like that. What type of vase is this? Does this have a specific name of the type of vase? 5.5 inches. It is itty bitty. Oh, God. Nothing's breaking. We're at 22 items. 22 items. I don't actually know if I have 30 items in this box to be able to list all of them. I still have a few more, though. We're going to see. Oh, a bud vase. Thank you. We're going to keep going for probably another like 15, 20 minutes. 6 and, oh boy. We're going to call it 7 inches. 7 inches tall. These are really cool mid-century bud vases. Well, this is a bud vase. Oh, the other one had felt on the bottom. This one doesn't. But I think they're hand carved. They look hand carved. What are you, little tiny thing? Get out. Get out. When will we be able to see the things you just listed? You can actually go see them right now. Click the link in my description of this video that leads you to my whatnot page. Go to my most recent or my upcoming sale live show. I'm just going to show you. It'd be way easier if I show you. Okay, so when you get to this page, you're in the correct place. There is a little tab right here that you can't see, but it'll scroll between shop and shows, and you can find it in either way. So if you scroll through shop, you'll see all the things that I'm listing right now. And then if you click one of them, it'll go to the listing. I don't know why it says activate. I'm sure you guys are going to see something different. Or if that doesn't work, go to the show, click into the show, go there, and then you can buy any of these items. Oh, there it is. Make an offer or buy now. So if you're wondering, this guy is pretty neat. He's got a little C on him, so he's custom engraved. Tell me your secrets. Is it an ashtray? I think this is an ashtray. Oh, he's got some chunks on him. Does he? Crystal cigarette ashtray. Are you 3x3? You are. You are 3x3. Da, da, da. 3 inches by 3 inches crystal cigarette ashtray as is. How heavy are you? We don't know. That's not helpful. Oh my, what is at the bottom of this box? Oh, I thought this was cool. It's acrylic, but it's like a vintage acrylic tray. This is super popular right now, all the acrylic trays that are that I use in my modern decor. So it was interesting to find a vintage one. You don't often see vintage acrylic trays like that because they're usually like glass or crystal or something. Oh, it thinks it is acrylic tray. It thinks it's metal because it's pulling up the gray from my whatchamacallit. I'm not finding it, but look at these. I want these now. This is the dangerous game of listing things. You find things you want to buy. This is not what I should be doing. Get out of here. You are super lightweight, which is nice. Oh, wait. Did I measure this correctly? Okay. Oh, God. I'm running out of room. Running out of room. What's next? Ooh. Apparently have a lot of this glassware with the oh wait, this is no, is this the one with Star David? And this one is molded glass because it has the seam. We know that. We're learning something. My goal with each show is to learn one new thing about an item. So one day when I'm out sourcing for myself, I know exactly what things are and what to pick up. That's in an ideal world what I'm doing. I also really love it when Google knows exactly what the thing is that I'm listing. Very helpful, Google. Thank you. How heavy are you? Oh, you're a heavy boy. Oh, gosh, I'm running out of room down here, which is a good sign. That means we've listed a lot of things. Have you looked through the Whatnot marketplace? Are you talking to me or are you talking to anybody else? Because I have. I do all the time. I have a bad habit of shopping, which is also Whatnot is a great thing and a bad thing because it's where I've been buying a lot of my clothes recently. I have like 3 distinct sellers that I'm like, oh, I know for a fact I'm going to be able to get the items that I like, the brands that I like, that I know that fit, and the sizes that I need between the 3 of them. And I tried to, my friends asked the other day, they're like, oh, where are you guys getting your clothes? I need, to refresh my wardrobe. And I'm like, well, you could go on this Whatnot page, but like, you don't know what you're going to get. And the consistency of, you just got to go to all the shows to see everything. So be warned. When you get into Whatnot, it gets into you. There is a lot of cool stuff on Whatnot, though. And I think that's the appeal of it. Also, look at this thing. Is this a, like, tequila bottle. The cork's inside. I don't know if I can get it out, but it's a world championship dance competition bottle. I'm assuming this is what they got when they won. Let's clean it. Whatnot is addicting, and I really like the community aspect of it. Like, I like being able to talk with the sellers and build a rapport with the people that I'm buying things from. It makes a very unique experience, and like I'm, pretty consistent on going back to the same sellers that I know because I'm familiar with them. I know their faces, I know their banter, I know their humor, I know what I'm going to get from the show. And it's a new form of entertainment. It's kind of similar to watching your favorite show on like a rerun. You know what you're going to expect, but it's still something new every time. Sometimes I listen to shows without buying anything, like the Impish Artist. You guys have heard me rave about the Impish Artist multiple times. She is just a hoot to watch. Like, I usually end up buying something every show, but it's just her witty humor. Me and my boyfriend will literally sit there on the couch and listen to her and talk with her all night. Hi, Rosie's Closet. Let's see if Google can find that. Oh, it thinks it's a Patron bottle. It's not a Patron bottle. Worlds 2007, and I'm pretty sure you could scrape this off and make it like a prettier country dance competition championships bottle. I'm here to appeal to all audiences, the crafty people, the collectors, the people that look at this and go, I could put a plant in that. I'm pretty sure you could like scrape this off because it's just like a sticker applique, and you could make this something fantastic and wonderful and get the salt out of the bottom. Someone more creative than I will do that. Oh, this is my last item in the box. Look at that. We did it. We have reached the last item. And only 2 hours and 15 minutes. And now I got to clean everything up. That's okay. I'm just going to throw everything back in the box. Saved the best for last, I guess. Look at how pretty this guy is. This one's got to be crystal. Crystal basket. Oh, there he is. There he is. Made in Poland. Okay, well, I don't have a sticker that says that, but this is the same marking. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact one. I just can't confirm it was made in Poland because it doesn't have the sticker on it. But it does look to be the same. How heavy are you? Okay. The other thing, if you are looking to start a Whatnot sale soon, the strategy that I have behind listing heavier things and lighter things, so you want a balance of starting off with some lighter weight items so that people can get discounted shipping when they get to the heavier things, or have some things in your buy it now section that are consistently there. I have books, or I have like buy Daisy a treat, buy Dozer a treat. And that allows people to not only support you, but to get that discounted shipping when they're buying something heavier that's going across the country. So that's a little strategy for you guys there. And another thing, even if you don't have people in your room, continuously run something on auction, because that gains the interest of people when they're there. It captures their attention that something's running, and that will help you retain people that just like pop in and out of your show. The other thing is your prices. If you are just starting out, don't start everything at $5. Wait until you grow your following. Have that number in your mind and figure out what is the bottom price that you can get on everything to make sure you're not going negative when you are listing things, because your time to host the show, your time to list the items, and your time to ship things is all important as a cost factor when you're deciding if this is going to be as a sustainable business for you. So with that, I think I'm going to go join Grant for dinner. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'm going to do another one of these probably next week, and I will try to do another ship with me video after my sale on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Bookmark that show when it comes up. Thank you for liking. Thank you all for being wonderful subscribers, and I will see you guys next time.